I'm giving you a tool today, not a framework to think about someday. An actual tool you can run in your next leadership team meeting. 4 questions. I want you to block out 90 minutes. What services will be more valuable than any AI readiness assessment you have ever purchased? And more honest than anything your engagement survey has ever told you. A CMO I was coaching was at a Fortune 500 company. He had a sophisticated team and an aggressive AI timeline. He came to me 6 months into the rollout and said, "The numbers are good. My team is performing. So why does it feel like something is breaking?" That feeling, the one that doesn't show up in a KPI dashboard, that's what the big energy audit is built to surface. Here's how I suggest you run it. Block 90 minutes with your leadership team. No agenda before it, no laptops. This is a leadership health check, not a performance review, not a strategy session, just an honest look at where you actually are. Then ask these 4 questions, one at a time. Let each one breathe. Do not rush this. Question 1. Where is AI adding speed but removing meaning? This is the efficiency versus engagement question. Your AI tools are probably tracking tasks completed, time saved, output generated. What they're not tracking is whether your people feel like their work still matters. This question creates space to name that gap. Where did something speed up? And where did something valuable disappear? Maybe it's the client discovery process that used to generate relationships and now generates summaries. Maybe it's the creative brief that used to be a conversation and is now just another watered down template. Maybe it's the performance review that's AI generated and no longer feels like it came from a human who actually watched you work. Name the specific moments, map them. These are the places where your transformation is quietly costing you more than your metrics are showing. Question 2. What's the one thing your team is afraid to say out loud? This is the most important question of the 4 that I'll share with you today. Here's what I know. Organizational silence. The thing nobody is saying in your meeting rooms is almost always being said everywhere else. In the parking lot, in the Slack channels you're not in coffee conversations that happen right after the all hands ends. When you ask this question and make it safe to answer honestly, 2 things happen. You surface the real problem before it shows up in your exit data. And you signal to your team that you can handle the truth. That is the most powerful trust signal a leader can send. Question 3. Which decisions have you delegated to AI or process that still need a human? Not every decision that can be automated should be. Some decisions carry cultural weight an algorithm cannot hold. The hiring decision that signals what kind of team you're building. The client relationship call that communicates what you value. The restructuring decision that tells your team whether people or process come first. When you lose the human in those moments, you get compliance. And compliance looks a lot like adoption until the day it doesn't. Question 4. Where are you leading with control when your team actually needs trust? This is the one that lands on the leader, not the team. Fear masquerades as diligence, the micromanagement that is actually anxiety, the approval gate that is actually an unwillingness to delegate, the check-in that's actually surveillance. Every one of those behaviors says to your team, I don't trust you. And teams that don't feel trusted give you compliance, but not commitment. After you run the audit, here's your next move. Identify your primary bet pillar. Are the issues mostly about not naming what's happening? Boldness gap? About people feeling unseen? The empathy gap? About authority structures that prevent people from acting with confidence? The trust gap? Then name one thing you're going to do differently in the next 30 days. Not a strategic initiative, one behavior, one meeting that changes, one conversation that happens, one decision that comes back to a human. Small and specific beats, large and aspirational every single time. And close the loop with your team. Tell them what you heard. Tell them what you're doing about it. That loop, listen, name, act, report back, is the most powerful organizational trust builder that I know. Where is control masquerading as leadership in your organization today? Most organizations run engagement surveys when they actually need is this audit. The difference is not the questions, it's the format. Surveys produce data, conversations produce truth. And the truth about what's happening in your organization right now is sitting in a waiting room for someone to make it safe to say today. The big energy audit is something I facilitate with leadership teams as a consulting engagement. Different experience when someone else is holding the room. If you want that, reach out today with the link in the description. And thanks for listening.